In case you missed out on the major local and international news updates within the week, worry no more because we've got you covered. Join us on First Next News for a complete highlight of important stories from Nigeria and around the world. You can follow us on our YouTube channel at First Next News for full news reports. Hello everyone, a very pleasant day to you. Here are the top stories. These are: federal government moves against forgers, orders compulsory verification of academic certificates. Traditional rulership does not compete with political rulership, Obasanjo tells Ladoja. On the foreign scene, Trump demands inquiry over UN triple sabotage after escalator and teleprompter mishaps. A very good day to you and welcome to First Next News Port Harcourt. I am Becky Usoro. Now the news in details. The federal government has directed all ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, as well as military and paramilitary formations to begin compulsory verification of the academic credentials of staff from October 6, 2025. The move follows mounting concerns from academics about the erosion of educational integrity and the spread of fake certificates across the country. In response, the government ordered the nationwide rollout of the national policy for the Nigerian Educational Repository and Data Bank (NERD). The policy requires every MDA institution and organization, whether public, private, civilian, or military, to subject staff and prospective employees' qualifications to mandatory verification checks. At the center of the reform is the Nigerian Education Repository and Data Bank, a digital platform designed to store, manage, preserve, and verify educational records, publications, and credentials across all tiers of the system. Designed as one-stop hub for academic data, NERD allows instant authentication of certificates while serving as a permanent archive for historical academic outputs. According to a circular dated August 8, 2025, signed by George Akume, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, every MDA and tertiary institution must now adopt the National Credentials Verification Service (NCVS) for authentication the qualifications of staff and prospective employees. Under the new system, no appointments will be confirmed without an NCVS clearance certifying the authenticity of academic documents. Each clearance will generate a National Credential Number (NCN) and security codes linked to verified documents for record keeping. The circular noted that the directive derives legal backing from Section 10(1) of the Educational National Minimum Standards and Establishment of Institution Act 1985. Implementation will be overseen by the newly established NERD, recommended by the National Universities Commission (NUC) in May 2023. All MDAs and higher institutions, civilian, military, private, or public, must also submit annual NERD compliance reports by March 30th each year. You are still listening to News on First Next News Port Harcourt. Let's go for a short break. When we return, we'll bring to you more details on what former President Olusegun Obasanjo says traditional rulership does not compete with political rulership. On the foreign scene, Trump demands inquiry over UN triple sabotage after escalator and teleprompter mishaps. Please stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to First Next News. Welcome back. Many thanks for staying tuned. In case you're just joining us, you are listening to news on First Next News Port Harcourt. We now bring you the rest of the news. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo has advised the Olubadan designate Oba Abdul Rashid Ladoja to avoid conflicting traditional rulership with politics. In a statement signed by his special assistant on media, Kehinde Akinyemi, and made available to journalists on Wednesday, congratulated the monarch on his formal ascension to the throne. Obasanjo emphasized that the new position requires humility, tolerance, and other qualities. He also urged the monarch to be patient, tolerant, and seek divine wisdom and advice from a wide and varied range of quarters to succeed. The statement reads, "I take this opportunity to congratulate you. It is an exalted and responsible position to be traditional ruler of all Ibadan people. It requires humility, patience, divine wisdom, tolerance, and advice from wide and varied quarters to succeed. Traditional rulership does not compete or conflict with political rulership." Bugaje, who served in the National Assembly during Obasanjo's administration, maintained that legislatures at the time had first-hand knowledge of the former president's ambition. We now move on to the foreign scene. Donald Trump has demanded an investigation into what he called a triple sabotage during his visit to the United Nations General Assembly on Wednesday. In a post on social media, the U.S. president referred to an escalator abruptly stopped as he and his First Lady, Melania Trump, stepped on a teleprompter malfunctioning during his speech and an audio issue in the auditorium. A UN official said the sound system was designed to allow people to hear translated speeches through earpieces. The UN previously said a safety mechanism might have been triggered by Trump's videographer, who had been traveling backwards up the escalator while the teleprompter belonged to the U.S. delegation. Trump criticized the incident on Truth Social and said he was sending a letter to the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, demanding an immediate probe. A real disgrace took place at the United Nations yesterday. Not once, not two, but three very sinister events, he wrote. This wasn't a coincidence. This was triple sabotage at the UN. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. He also called for the arrest of the people responsible for the escalator incident. Reference an article in Times that said, UN workers joked about turning off the escalators. This was absolutely sabotage. All security tapes at the escalator should be saved, especially the emergency stop button. The Secret Service is involved, Trump added. That's all on the news this hour. We now bring you highlights of the top stories so far. Federal government moves against forgers orders compulsory verification of academic certificates. We brought to you the traditional rulership does not compete with political rulership, Obasanjo tells Ladoja. On the foreign scene, we brought to you the Trump demands inquiry over UN triple sabotage after escalator and teleprompter mishaps. For more stories and updates on political trends, you can follow us on our YouTube channel and kindly subscribe at First Next News. Do remember, democracy is the only system that persists in asking the powers that be whether they are the powers that ought to be. I am Becky Usoro from I and the entire team in Port Harcourt. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.